Hi guys, welcome to Comic Culture. I guess you guys have seen this before, but I just thought I'd do a review of this amazing looking Arc Reactor. At first, this is actually a model kit which I bought a while back, and this model kit is not an easy task. I have to wrap all of these wires around. Perhaps I gotta switch off this light in order to give you a more thorough review of this amazing Arc Reactor. Okay, guys, this is how it looks. It does come attached with this cable, so all you need to do, you have to peel off all the these vertical sections here. There's protective film on both sides of these vertical sections, so you need to peel it off and mount it on, and a lot of these smaller transparent parts all around, and at the center there is some metal rings which is also needed to be mounted on. The most tedious part actually is those wiring around here. These are actual wiring. I have to wrap it around all the way, each and every one of these, and it is no easy task, I can tell you that, because it does not stay in place once you wrap this guy. So I need to super glue as I go along, which is very difficult. But the end result, it does seems quite nice. The build is almost exactly as the Iron Man Arc Reactor from the movie. With the amazing LED light up feature, it does really looks amazing. So let's have a look the overall construction of this guy before I put it back with the light up feature, and let's move on. So let's open this guy up and see what's inside. Let's open this guy. Very nice box. Some kind of foam. There's some parts inside. I'm not sure what's inside. This is interesting. It looks like a Arc Reactor blueprint from Tony Stark himself. Just look at that. A very nice blueprint of the Arc Reactor. Let's look at that. The specs, everything is in place. So let's flip at the back. And yes, this is the instruction manual of constructing the 1:1 scale chess Arc Reactor of Tony Stark. This is the actual 1:1 scale, some kind of model kit, and let's hope it turns out nice. What else do you have here? There's a remote control. Let's look at that. Some wirings, some tapes. Look at that. This is funny. They give you a Ghana marker. I'm not sure what is this for. Maybe for some metallic paint or something like that. and some more parts. Looks like glue or some sort. And lastly, there is a ticket to the Start Expo. Check this guy out. It's $24 for the entrance fee. Very nice. So there you have it. All of the parts ready to be constructed, ready to be construct, ready to stand by for building this guy out, the 1:1 scale Arc Reactor. Next, you will have a look at the completed build and see how it looks. Alright, before I even start building this Arc Reactor, I just open up the main package and wow, there are a lot of parts to build. It seems like this is not a typical snap-on kit. Look at that. A lot of these small screws, small parts. I do not know what are these. A lot of small little angle parts. There's a USB cable here, some metal rings. I believe these are the vertical holders for the Arc Reactor, and also the controller, which actually looks quite nice. So I guess I need to spend a bit of time getting this guy completed. Let's hope everything falls into place. It looks like fun, and I hope I can complete it in a day or two. So let's have a look at the completed Arc Reactor and see how it performs right after this. Actually, the first thing I need to do is actually take this part here and this part here, align with all these hollow out holes here, and glue it on. Before I even do that, this piece actually originally there is a protective some kind of film on top. You got to peel it off, and it's actually in black color. So these are the protective film, and they are about 11 pieces each, longer one and the shorter ones. They actually give you an extra piece for each, the longer one and the shorter one. I hope that I can do this first step, which is this one. So let's begin. This is how it looks. You need to peel off, and the end result is actually this black color parts, which you need to glue it right underneath the holes The first one, actually I forgot to peel off the protective film for this ring, so I just glue it in, and you can still see some of the protective film at the edges. But I tried to pull this piece off, but it seems like already permanently glued to the ring, so I'll just leave it as it is and continue with it. It took me a while to actually complete this Arc Reactor kit, which is in 1:1 scale. I gotta say, this is one of the toughest kit that I have ever built. A lot of the things doesn't line up properly, and the most hassle is actually these wirings. You have to roll it around the ring. All of these wires you have to run around the ring, and when you finish running it all around, the problem is getting the cut end string of the wiring to actually tie at the very end there. By the time you have completed that, these two pieces will actually break off. So it took me a very long time to actually complete this, and I put in a lot of super glue. In fact, the whole thing is actually super glued together. There's no parts that actually snap on. The whole thing is actually super glued, and if you look at it, it's a bit rugged. If you even look closely inside, there's a 6 gold color ring, also super glued on a triangle support piece, which is very finicky. So other than that, the end result actually looks quite okay. The only problem I have actually is the fixing point, which is the screw points here, and here. Over here there are supposed 4 very small screw which I'm supposed to screw it down, but I just leave it out. And one of the screw here doesn't join at the bottom. The only one actually holding this black colored rim is actually this screw. So other than that, I try to glue it down. It seems to be holding quite well, and I just leave it as it is, because I finally have to surrender myself. And if you look carefully, these are actually not burn marks, these are actually excessive use of super glue. Just look at that, the plastic seems to be melting away. So it does give this Arc Reactor a believable look, as though it is overheated and burning part of the Arc Reactor on the sides. Even the bottom here, you can't really see. They are actually super glue, whereby the plastic start to melt because of the excessive use of super glue. But the most interesting part is actually this remote control, and I have to say, it is amazing. The LED light for this guy is superb. Just look at that. There is a controller here. Start Industries. All you need to do is plug your USB to any power supply As for myself, I have plugged it into my laptop, and let's light this guy up and see how it looks. Check this guy out. Oh my god, look at that. This is really an amazing looking arc reactor. The brightness of this guy is simply blinding. Just look at that. Very impressive. Just look at this baby. You cannot believe it. It really looks as though this is from Tony Stark, a 1-to-1 scale arc reactor from I believe Mark 1 or something like that. Iron Man Mark 1 arc reactor. The most interesting part is actually you can set the brightness to 100%, 50%, and 25%. You can also manually adjust the brightness. As you can see here, there are some very interesting mode which you can set. This is one of the blinking mode, very nice, and another fading mode, which is also very interesting. Look at that. This one is also blinking. This is blinking with a little bit longer idling before the light is switched on. And one more mode here, another type of blinking, almost as though Ultraman is losing his energy. Look at that. Very nice. This one is much more interesting, almost like a disco light. Really interesting. Another mode which is very nice. So there you have it. I think it's about 6 or 7 modes altogether, which you can set. You can, and also able to set the speed of this each of this mode, as you can see here. Very nice. So there you have it. Tony Stark Arc Reactor, a custom build, and the final look is very interesting. This is how it looks with the wiring plug at the back, as you can see, and it does shine very bright. As you can see, my camera does not pick up the surrounding due to this arc reactor brightness. Simply amazing. So I guess that's all for now. I hope you guys enjoy my video. Until then, Comic Culture signing off. See you guys next time.